Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to Fridays on TheRealvolution. You are here with Jen. Okay, so this week we are talking about looking back on 2013 and I guess what stood out and, basically the highlights and the lowlights of the year. So the low point for me was issues that I had with my ex-partner. We broke up finally after a very, 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 very rocky relationship. We broke up, I guess, officially in June, maybe May. May, I think it was. Honestly, I can't even remember the dates. But it was, like the lowest point that I've ever had to experience. It was really, really horrible. And if you follow me on YouTube, if you've followed me since the very beginning, you'll know that I went through another really, really, really bad heartbreak. I should say a very, very bad breakup in 2007, which continued on, I guess, the emotional turmoil that I felt continued on into 2008. And this was much worse. I think I was just better at dealing with it because I was older and because I went through what I went through in 2007 and 2008. But it was this really, really horrible moment for me. Our relationship was filled with, lots of moments that were sad. And I hung on for way too long. And it took me a long time to realize that. And I guess the only thing I can take away from the relationship is that I hung on for as long as I did because it had to be my choice to leave. It was the first time, actually, that I've ever broken up with someone. Every other relationship, it's always been the other person, which I wonder if that says something about me. I don't know. But it was a very hard decision, but I was very, very determined because it had just gone on for far too long. It's funny because we had massive issues in December 2012. And so this Christmas season has been a bit strange for me. Really, really strange, actually. There's been lots of good times, but then there's been a lot of reminiscing. I think that's my problem, is that I reminisce a lot. I remember things quite clearly when I want to, and I've been reminiscing a lot. And of course, at this moment, I've been focusing a lot on the good times instead of trying to remember that there were many, 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 many more bad times than good in the relationship. And so I'm trying to kind of stop my heart from feeling so much and trying to kind of listen to what my head's trying to tell me. That was my lowest thing. The rest of the year, that took up a lot of the year, but in saying that, I had some good times. I went to the States to get over my ex. I went there for Full Figured Fashion Week and met some amazingly beautiful fat women there. Total fashionistas. It was brilliant. And then after spending a week in New York with these great women, I spent another week in New York just doing my own thing and being by myself and, meeting up with people that were just so good for my soul and good for my heart. And then I traveled to Chicago. No, I went to Baltimore first. I went to Baltimore and met up with Tracy for the second time, which was brilliant. And I got to hang out with her family and see her little baby girl. And then I went to Chicago and I met Obsquatch, if you'll know these people, if you watch my YouTube stuff from back in the day, Obsquatch, and I got to hang out with him, and he was so lovely to put me up for a couple nights. And then I met up with Danielle, who has now become one of the most dearest people in my life, and her family, excuse me, were so generous and so genuine, and I just loved their family dynamic. I was so intrigued by the relationship that they all have with each other, and it was just so amazing. And then I went to Orlando and hung out with Crumbine and his beautiful wife Sam. And then from Florida, I went to, where did I go? I went to New Orleans, I think. Went to New Orleans and hung out by myself in New Orleans. And then I met up with Anna, Go No Ammo, and her really, really lovely friend Dave. And then I went to a little town called Liberal in Kansas and met my oldest online friends, Crystal and Steve, and hung out with them. And then I went back to New Orleans, and hung out. It was just, seriously, the most amazing trip. I met Captain Holy Pants, Trip, Anglo Baptist here on YouTube. I got to meet Trip and Chris LeBrain and just all these amazing people. And all of you, every single one of you, all the people that I met on that trip helped me. You guys brought me back to life. You really did. And I miss all of you. Really, really miss you guys. It was a life-changing trip. And it made me realize how strong I am and how I can be independent and I can actually travel around in places that I know nothing about and be completely fine. I think you learn a lot about yourself when you are in a completely alien city and you're fine. And you meet people along the way who just completely just save you and lift you up and just, yeah. I want to thank all of you for just being there and for meeting me and for just encouraging me when I was down. And I think I hid my pain quite well at the time because I was so distracted by everything. But you guys really helped me to get through it. So I want to thank you all. My other highlight is that I've been seeing someone, really, really lovely guy. And although I feel like it's still too soon to make it more than it is, which is just a really, really, really close friendship, he has just become like my confidant and this person that I turn to. And I know that whatever happens, even if we don't kind of become an item officially, I'll know that he'll always be a great friend and someone that I'll always turn to. So yeah, that's I guess that's 2013 for you. Lots of lows. A lot of lows that went on for a very, 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 very long time. And my highs were few and far between, but they were so intensely high that I almost feel like the rest of most of the low points are just completely overshadowed by how wonderful these high points were. But walking down Bourbon Street was magical, and driving through the Hawaiian, like the coastal roads in Hawaii were amazing. And just walking around San Francisco with one of my bestest and oldest friends from boarding school was amazing. And eating all the food was amazing, and getting to just hang out with my oldest online friends was amazing. The whole trip was just this soul lifting love fest that just made me feel so wonderful. If not completely, then at least, healed me like 95%. And it's all thanks to you guys who I met along the way. That's all I have to say. I'm glad that 2013 is over. Completely glad it's over. And I'm glad that we're in a new year where we can have new beginnings. And although I don't believe in New Year's resolutions, I do actually have something that I want to work on. I want to work on a lot this year, which is I want to be able to control my reactions a lot more. And I also want to be able to logically, I guess, think about why I'm upset. And I want to be upset for the right reasons as opposed to sulking for the sake of sulking. Because I have a tendency to do that. So I want to be able to kind of like focus in on something and make sure that something's worth getting upset about. And if it's not, moving on. And also, if I am upset about something, not bringing in other things from the past that kind of may have a little bit to do with it, but don't really, So that's my main resolution. I want to get healthier as well. I've been eating really badly the last couple of months since I've met this guy. Actually, I think he's a really, really bad influence. But it's not so much about losing weight because I don't want to kind of like condone this idea of losing weight, but I definitely just want to eat healthily because I'm feeling lethargic. That's all I have to say. This is a long one, so I'm gonna go. Lisa, congratulations on your new baby. I'm so happy for you, and I hope that you're well and that baby is well. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.